So this video is a bit different. So as I'm progressing through doing my art and becoming better, I want to learn new skills, which sometimes means new materials. And this is what I want to kind of talk about today. So what I found online and what could be helpful for you guys and what I found to be helpful for me. Now, a lot of this is off TEMU, and that's just basically because it's dirt cheap and it's not in the budget to purchase anything high end. I'm not spending 30-40 quid on a paintbrush. It's absurd to me, especially as I struggle to keep care of them. Anyway, so the first thing I want to show is this pen holder. That's what it's described as a pen, well, pen display. And I bought this for ease of access for paintbrushes. So when I'm painting, what I usually do is I just lay them down. I'll get paint everywhere. And it wasn't ideal. So I bought this from TEMU and it was about $163 when I purchased it. Things on TEMU go up and down all the time. But I quickly realized that using it for paintbrushes was not ideal. So here we have some paintbrushes. I have some various size ones here. Just grab them from this bit. And I'll load them up. Okay, there's the problem I have already and what I have been having with it. So there we go. I'll try and tip it. So it looks pretty, looks nice, very aesthetic. But with paintbrushes, because one side is heavier, if you just misplace it, it doesn't work. This here is too narrow. So you need to get it perfect. And when you're in the midst of painting, you concentrate and you're lost in thought, you grab a brush and you could easily knock one off. So for this reason, I stopped using it fairly quickly. Build quality is very cheap, very cheap plastic. Like I said, it was £1.60 something. So what we're going to use it is for a pen holder. Well, that's what it was for. So that's what we'll use it for. And for this, it's ideal. If you have some nice pens to display, some nice fountain pens, you want to look pretty on a desk somewhere, it generally looks well. You're not going to be fiddling around too much with them. And for this purpose, it's ideal. However, I've not been using it for that. It's just set at the side. I'll probably just gift it to someone. But yeah, I thought it would come in useful and it hasn't for me. Again, just displaying pens. I don't know what else you could display in there. But yeah, not for me. This leads me on to the next item I purchased. An actual paintbrush holder. Now this, I still don't use it for when I'm painting. And I'll get onto that reason in a bit. But just to store them, it's very ideal. It's very cheaply made, thin plywood, laser cut. It was a pain to assemble. I would recommend using a bit of glue on it. You can put it on down, or you can mount it on the wall. There's some mounting holes here. And it does its job well. It fits a lot of paintbrushes in it. They do wiggle, but again, you're not moving this around. You're just using it to store your paintbrushes. There's some issues where I would like to have the smaller paintbrushes at the front. The holes are just so small. And how this paintbrush tapers as well, it's not ideal. So won't fit in the first, barely fits in the second. And if you push it in, what you find is it can snag. So I can lift the entire paintbrush holder with just that. So you have to use two hands, so it's not ideal. But all you do is to resolve that is put it in the third one. Again, there's some issues like this. So if you don't put it in properly, they'll slide around. There's some hole alignment issues as well. But again, I use it. It's very good. You can see the brushes you want. You can see the the tips as well, the brush heads, like your filberts, your flats, your rounds, easy to access. Now I don't use it for when I'm painting, it's because I lose track of my brushes. So let's say if this has got some paint on it, and I put it in here, I'll easily forget about it. Or I'll struggle to see which one it is that's got the paint, if it's like a thin, like glaze, like a wash, for example. It's easy, you can easily miss it, and then you've got a dry, useless brush. Another reason is because if we are loaded with paint and you want to try and get another paintbrush, you're going to end up brushing your hand against some of the bristles if you're not careful, and it defeats the whole purpose of trying to keep clean hands. So I've not found anything for that. So what I do usually is just rest it at an angle on the easel, so it's the brush head isn't resting on the table. But I would recommend this. It is dirt cheap. You could get quite a few and happily display hundreds of paintbrushes if you want. Easy to access. Nail art as well, miniatures. So miniature painting I do. So I'm going to get another one specifically for miniature paintbrushes. And I highly recommend this. Now the next one is something very simple, and it's something I've probably used quite a lot. And it's these little metal palette dish things. Now I use these for washes, again both miniatures like Warhammer and stuff, and also my painting. So if I want to stain a canvas, for example, you put your thinner in here, your medium oil, for example, and then you can just slap it on the canvas and not worry. And then you can just get tissue, wipe it up, dead easy, dead simple, easy to clean, and highly reusable. What I was doing before for washes was getting like, this is off a hairspray. So I use hairspray as fixative for pencil drawings, charcoal drawings. And what I'll do with the lids is just use this as basic on these, but it's basically single use. It's hard to clean. It just goes into the bin. Not ideal. But these will last me forever. They do a very good job. And I highly recommend these, even though they are simple. They're quite thick as well. They're not like flimsy metal. Like I can't bend that. They'll last forever if you look after them and you keep them clean. Very useful. Next one was a set. So it came with this pencil, this rubber, and 2 refills. And it's just a chunky clutch pencil. And I wanted this for life drawing, specifically life drawing. And the reason is, I'll show you actually. If I actually had a pencil with some lead in it. So you have your 0.5. You're not going to do much with this. You can't really gesture drawing. That's just for lines. Line work, that's all you're going to get out of that. This one, you can do a bit thicker lines. This bad boy, you can do your thin lines and then you can transfer it over to big, broad strokes. Very ideal for very quick gesture drawings. You can get very dark lines. Again, very good for like quick life drawing sessions, gesture drawings. And yeah, it's very well made. The clutch mechanism works brilliantly. I don't know the quality of the leads. I couldn't really tell you on that. They don't feel the best quality. But how thick this is and how the lines work, it's fine. The rubber is okay. It comes with this. You probably won't use that, but it's a rubber. It doesn't do very well with these lines at all. And then these lines, it actually works pretty well with it. So the rubber's usable. This is a Stedler. Again, it still struggles with these lines, and this is something that I found with this lead. So I don't know if it's the quality of lead, but it's a real pain to rub out, where this just obviously breathes through the more harder pencils. I think because it's so soft. I can't remember what grade this is. It could be an 8B for all I know. I would put it at an 8B, but I can't 100% tell you the truth. Oh, hold on. This is me being silly. Okay, that's not very clear either. Okay, so these are refills. We've got 2B, 4B, 6B, 8B. I don't get it. Like, it won't tell me the gradient. Like, do I know? There's no indication. Now, one would assume that there's one of each in there, right? How do you tell? Okay. There's no way of telling. Oh, actually, there is a difference. There's a big difference. Okay, so we'll get this other one here. So what you get actually, this is me being blind, is you get 2B, 4B, 6B, and 8B. What it doesn't say is how they are positioned. Yeah, I can't see any markings, nothing. Nothing on the lid, is there? Nope. So you're at a guessing game. That's not ideal, but it's not a massive issue. You just do a test like that, and you're good to go, pretty much. But yeah, that's actually surprised me, and that's also another win. You get various leads, softnesses. So I'll pull that up as a win. Again, sharpening it, it's just a normal pencil sharpener. I'm making a mess here. Again, dead simple. You can get a really good point on it, a very good taper as well. You can see that. That's what you're working with. Again, you can extend it quite aggressively as well, so you can get some really good marks. Yeah, really like that. Really rate it. Okay, and that pencil, I forgot to mention, that pencil was around £4.80, and that was for the two refills, the rubber, and the actual clutch pencil. So a good deal in my opinion. So the next one, and the final one, is this. It is a rubber pencil. Like a mechanical rubber pencil. It's very fine. Sorry about my fingers. And it's very good for fine work. This was pretty, I won't say pricey. It is compared to most things on this list, but it was £4.80. And I'm going to do a quick test with it and see how well it does. So we've got a 2B, just got a HB. I think that's HB. Should be anyway. And then we'll get this chunk out. Now I don't have high hopes for this one. I'm not too sure about the lead on that, but we'll see. So a quick comparison. So we've got a Stedler rubber, and I don't know what this is called. What is this? It's in Chinese. I assume that's Chinese. Anyway, quick test. Works fine. Works fine. Smudges like anything. You're not gonna. So yeah, there we go. This is just getting horrendous. Sorry about the mess. Anyway, so here we get onto this. Oh, that pencil. I tell you what, that pencil lead has just wrecked my hands. It's made a right mess of the book. So here are the 2B. Now, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Even better on that one. I have no hopes for this one. I mean, it did just as well as the Stedler, really. Again, and that's what you want to use it for. It's fine work, a bit of highlights and eyes. So, in all honesty, let's quickly do an eye. It's going to be very rough. Please don't judge me on this. Okay. It's terrible. Again, like I said, don't judge. Anyway, very quick eye. And then what we want a little line up here. I mean, it works somewhat. It's not the whitest, but you like for getting gradients and stuff. It's not the worst. Now you can't go much finer because obviously you got the. I mean, it is pretty thin, and the one I did purchase it did come with these refills. Actually, let's get these out. Interesting to see how you refill these. Yeah, hold on. This looks a bit weird. I'll just push it down the bottom. No. What? Okay, that's not let me go there. Shut up. Hold on. Okay, so I'm guessing you hold that down and then you push it in and then you slide it in. And then obviously, I thought you would been able to do it from the top. Huh. Anyway, interesting. So yeah, it's very useful. Again, like this drawing here, if you can see it from there, hopefully it would have been zoomed in when I edited it. It does a reasonable job. It does gradient work very well. So you're taking away again, you don't need a rubber to do this, but if you want to subtract some of the harshness of a shadow, for example, it could come in quite handy. That's something actually. So if I can zoom in on it, you can see that's quite flimsy. Like, you're not going to get much control with that. So try a little bit out. So we can put the shadow on the ball. Not the shadow, what do you call it? Reflected light. And then what it can't do is produce very, very white highlights. I mean, that's pretty white. I mean, it's pretty much the same as that. So again, it's finding out your uses for it and using it in your applications. But yeah, it's good. Very useful. And that's it. A bit long-winded. It is one of my first. I think I'll do more. I enjoy doing these. I enjoy buying random crap offline and testing it and see if it's any good whatsoever. One thing I want to do is see if this actually comes off. Okay, so yeah, the the lead is very, very soft, and you'll get it all over you if you're not careful. But again, if you stand back, long gesture drawings, you're not going to get it all over you. It's not for fine work. Big gesture drawings where your hand isn't going to be touching the paper. So like here, you can get covered it in graphite. So yeah, so hope you enjoyed it. I'm hoping to do another one. And yeah, just let us know if there's anything you've seen on TEMU you'd like me to try out. I don't mind. I have some stuff on the way, some things that just seem to serve to me. So it'll be nice to see if they actually work in practice. But yeah, take care and see you next time.